So I meant to say this earlier, I just want to jump on and make a side note of this before I continue the video. The lighting in here is a bit fucked. Sometimes it's good, sometimes it's yellow. Like right now, it's currently wet snowing or whatever the weather gods have tossed our way. So it was nice earlier, not anymore. So do bear with me. I know my lighting is not top notch, but hopefully still in the video you get what I'm trying to say. Okay, bye. Hi everyone, and welcome back to my channel. Today's video is going to be all about eyeshadow blending. The reason why I am filming this is because I thought it would be helpful to show you first of all, a quick eye makeup look, but what brushes I use to kind of get a flawless eyeshadow application, and go from there, and also about like applying a primer, etc, etc. I already have foundation and mascara on because I had to go run some errands this morning, but I don't have any eyeshadow on. So yeah, let's just jump into it. First, what I would recommend someone doing with their eyeshadow is applying a base. Now, bases can be a multitude of things. You can use concealer, you can use obviously an eyeshadow primer. There's one by Essence that I have. They have like a regular one, they have a dewy one. I'm pretty sure almost like every brand has an eyeshadow base. So again, like the foundations that I spoke about in the previous video, you just want to find one that works for your skin tone. The other thing you can use, depending on what kind of look you're going for, is actually using a glitter base. Now, by using this, what you're essentially doing is enhancing the pigmentation of the eyeshadow that you're applying. So I would use this if I'm doing a shimmer look, and I'll just swatch these for you so that you can see the shimmer on them. So by applying a shade over top, you're really just enhancing the eyeshadow color. So just keep that in mind. The other thing too that you can do while using eyeshadow primer is setting your eyeshadow primer. That can be done by anything. If you use a concealer, you can use, you know, your face powder, you can use a light eyeshadow color, the two palettes. So there's the NYX Ultimate Basics. I keep saying basics, it's not, it's a warm neutrals palette. So it looks like this. So say you were using a regular concealer like this to set your base, what you can do then is use like these two lighter colors. This one in the center has shimmer. You can use shimmer to set an eye color, just your base is going to be the L'Oreal. So this is the L'Oreal palette. This is the second one, so this is like the purples. If this was the only palette that I had, I would use this first color here, which is a shimmery color. So let's do that first. My mirror's over on this side, so I'm going to look down while I do this. You don't need, this is the other thing too, you don't need a lot to have a base. The one thing I like about using concealer as a base is that if you're someone with any discoloration, using concealer helps obviously cover those like dark spots, or if you have veiny eyelids, the concealer can help hide that. Now, it is important to set the concealer when it is still wet, because what'll happen is if you wait until it starts to crease and it dries, you most likely will have the crease stuck there. So again, I'm going to use the NYX Ultimate palette, and to set the concealer, I'm going to go into this first shade here. And the kind of brush that I have is just a large flat brush. And again, I'm just dabbing on my eyelid to make sure that all my creases are removed, and then put on the eyeshadow. If you do use liquid products on your eyelids and don't set them, then most likely you will crease. If you do have oily eyelids too, and you tend to find that your eyelids crease throughout the day, or they can separate, I would recommend priming and setting your eyes. That can help prevent the creasing as well. So just like that. The next thing you want to do is take a large fluffy brush to put your first initial color down. They look like this. So you can see that they're large and in charge, kidding. No, but they're large and they're fluffy. They kind of have the tapered end so that you can really kind of put them in your crease and blend. So I'm going to use this first initial one. So again, it looks like this. It's large. It's not very dense. So what I would do then is go into, for your transition color, I would go into one that is similar to my skin color or a fraction darker. So in this palette, I would take this light brown color here. The steps that I'm doing can be the basics for any eye color. So if you want to do a purple color using, and I'll just jump back to the L'Oreal palette for example. So if I wanted to do purples, I could start with this as a transition color and build up, or I can even start with this one over here. However, this one is still fairly darker. So more often I would start with this one and then transition into that next color and go from there. So taking this light brown color, I'm gonna zoom in so you can see this. So I'm gonna swirl the brush, tap off the excess. The other thing that is important is how you hold your eyeshadow brush. For more on the blending side and less precise of an application, you want to hold the handle towards the end, not up at the front. If you hold it up at the front like this, it's going to be very harsh on your eyes, and it won't be as smooth, whereas this way it's just simply like back and forth and not any resistance, if that makes sense. And again, I start on the outside and just windshield washer motion in my crease. Now, I don't have a very pronounced eyelid. I was not blessed like that. So if you are, lucky you. So what I essentially do with my first color is fake it till I make it in creating a crease. Now, it's pretty simple to find where your crease is. It is essentially where your eye socket thing is. So like, even though my eyelid crease is here, I can actually like go a little bit further. So again, I hold it at the end and windshield wiper motions back and forth. And this color you can take and you can build it up to the intensity that you like. I typically keep my first initial transition shade fairly light because I do go in with other shades to darken it up with. So just like that. And blending does take time. It is not, oh man, you know, when I get ready on nights out, people are like, oh, it takes so long. It takes long because I'm blending, not because my makeup steps are forever. Literally, it's the blending of eyeshadows. If that wasn't if that didn't take as long as it did, I'd be fine. I'd be laughing. But oh well, so she goes. So just like that. And as you can see, it's not very dark. It's very quite light. It's just right in my crease. And I do go, like I said, holding the handle at the end, blending it until it looks seamless. Now you can deepen your crease at this point, which is something that I will do. What you can do is you can take a smaller blending brush. So this is a smaller blending brush that is more dense, and when it's more dense, what that means is you're going to concentrate more color in the area. So the next color I'm taking is this one here. I'm going to swirl my brush, tap off the excess, again holding the handle at the end, starting on the outer edge because I want the most pigmentation in the outer corner. I do little swirls for the deeper color, and then I windshield wiper motion the rest of the color in the crease. Now with this brush being smaller, as you can see, I have it more in the crease, whereas the initial color came up a bit, if you see that there. So this one is more in the crease and just gives the crease more definition. And again, same thing with the first color. You can deepen it as much as you'd like to get the intensity that you like. I'm just doing the simple day look, so I won't be going too much darker with this color. So I'll just show just like that. It's going back and forth. And blending can take a while. Like honestly, sometimes when I'm getting ready, I'll just close my eyes and just have a little nap, because this is how repetitive blending is. It's just back and forth to make everything look seamless. And then I'll go again with that color to deepen it up, tap off the excess, little circles on the outer V, and then windshield wiper motions in the crease. Just like that. And that's a pretty good darkness for me, so I'll just go ahead and do that on the other side. But this is also why, that's a good case in point of why if you're using darker colors to start lighter and then build it up, because if I started with a super dark color and tried wiping it away, especially with having foundation on, that could have been a world of hurt. The next thing I would do in this look is liner. I would use a dark liner to line my upper lash. You can also use a darker color to darken your outer V, and the outer V is essentially just do like that bit right there. The darker V one, when you do that, you want to use a pretty dense brush to pack on the color. So I have one, it's a smaller brush as well. So it's definitely not, just to compare it from the first brush we were using, that's the difference. So this one is much more precise with applying color. So taking that dark color, tapping off the excess, this will just simply go in the outer V. And you can blend that inwards there. And you can see the difference between the two. And just very lightly. If you wanted it super dark, super opaque, just add more color, but take your time blending in between each shadow application. I just have, again, you notice how with a more precise color, I'm holding it closer, not further away. So closer, and that gives you more precision with where you're blending the color. Just like that. And if you do find that it's too dark for your liking, you can always take the first initial brush you use with no extra product on it and just blend it like that. And then, like I said, I would do liner on my lid. So for a liner, I would take a angled brush like that. Now these ones are very dense brushes. The ones you want to use for eyeliner. These colors, I'm just saying, so pretty. I really like them. And I would take, to be honest, I wouldn't actually use any in this one because the color isn't the kind of darkness I like for my lash line. That's the case in point of when I would take something like this Cypress one from the Anastasia palette. Or, oh, I don't have my other drugstore palettes on me, so I'll just go in with the Cypress one. Tap off the excess and line my lash. Now, the reason why I'm using powder to line my lash is because I find it's a softer look, and so in the daytime I don't want an overly harsh eye look. You tell that to 19-year-old Emily and she probably would have laughed, because I used to wear like liquid liner, false eyelashes every day, like the whole works. And some days I definitely do, don't get me wrong, there are some days where I wake up, I'll be like, I'm gonna do a light eye look, nothing, it's like falsies later, glitter, and I'm just like, god damn, it's supposed to be a low-key day and it's turning out like I'm going out. But that's simply why I like a less intense, I guess, look. And my jobs don't really require me to have heavy makeup. Sometimes when I was serving, if it was the evening time, I'd definitely wear more, but my corporate job, I wouldn't really wear overly heavy makeup. So yeah, and then I just line my lashes like that. And like I said, I have mascara on already, so I'm not gonna add some more. But that is a quick basics of eyeshadow blending. Again, it's all about taking time. And I know blending, it takes forever, but just be patient with it. You can always, if you want like a super quick look during the day, you can always just take the initial blending brush that you have, pick one color, and just honestly put it in your crease for a pop of color. And then, I always say pop of color, but you know what I mean. And then you could put like some shimmer in your inner corner and be done. Like that could be a super simple day look, and just, you know, for some, just have that little extra step there. You could be like this, where you do use three or four colors and kind of different the, you know, have a darker outer corner, a darker crease and such. But again, the process of going lighter to darker works with all colors and shades. Again, using bases on your eyes really help if you wanted a more intense look. You know, you could definitely use a base. If you had colors, like if you were someone who liked using colors, I would definitely recommend a white base. That will for sure help eyeshadows pop. A really good one from the drugstore is just the NYX Jumbo pencils. They have one in milk, and that shit is dynamite. It makes any color pop, to be honest, even if you're using neutrals and such. But I hope this video is helpful for those who are kind of stuck with their techniques with blending. So yeah, happy blending, and I'll see you in my next video.